Yes, sir.
All right. Hey.
Mic check, mic
What's
check.
going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, this is AJ the Franchise.
It's your boy Ben the Great.
King Boo.
And this is Talking Real Spill Podcast, y'all.
Yes, sir. Well, we basically, man, come and chop it up with y'all about some everyday life topics. We may expose y'all to some things y'all may not know, man, you know. But with that being said, we are no way gurus on anything we discuss. Basically just bringing y'all along the journey, man, and giving y'all our thoughts and opinions on things, man. So with that being said, man, welcome to the discussion.
Yeah, man. So today, we gonna come at y'all just a tad bit different. Today we gonna talk about a lot of the things that's coming with shifting the mindset.
Right.
We've been hitting y'all with the real estate, with the Forex, and different avenues to bring you wealth and the long-term wealth, especially in today's society. You know, with this big transfer of income and wealth. So, let's jump right into it.
Right. Now, so with that, man, I was talking earlier, man. I know these stimulus checks is hitting, right?
Right. Everybody got that little stimulus, huh?
A lot of free money, man. A lot of free money. So what do you guys have planned with that money? Or let's just talk to everybody, man. What should we have planned with that money? You know, as far as like shifting the mindset. What you know?
Right.
What y'all think about that, man?
So just off of just piggybacking off of that, I just feel like this is a perfect time for people to start like investing in themselves. You know, kind of talk kind of get into the mindset change of if you are working a 9-to-5 job, kind of like using that platform that you are on to invest in yourself, as far as like your business may go. If you got a business on the side, LLC, or if it's just like personal uses, like if you just jumping into Forex or doing your credit, building up your credit, anything good on the personal side. So that's my input on it as far as like what I would want to do with my stimulus check and what I would advise the people to do with it. Like invest in yourself and find a way where you can make that money work for you, or make turn that $1,400 into $3,000.
Right.
So,
and to just reiterate, using that money to benefit yourself.
Right.
Not necessarily go buy you a pair of shoes.
Right.
Not to go buy you.
Right.
This ain't the time to go on vacation.
Right.
Right now, you might need to use that money to invest in some type of training or some type of trade that you can do,
and especially
virtual.
Definitely.
But what's going to accomplish the goal of adding value to yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Man, real quick, man, just like a quick little story, man. I have it's like me, man, my cousin, shout out Marvin Davis, man, and one of my closest friends, shout out Joshua Joseph, J Black.
Right.
Man, we have a group chat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we always, man, we just keep each other on our toes, right?
Right.
So, man, I want to just give a shout out to J Black, Joshua Joseph again, man. So, like, as soon as he heard about the 1,400, everybody getting the 1,400, man, one of the first things he sent us in that group was how to. I guess he, came across something about investing that 1,400, how to grow that 1,400, right? So he sent it to the group, and it was basically telling you to kind of get with 2 other people that got $1,400 stimulus,
right,
and kind of what to invest in and how you can kind of start to see monthly income from that, man.
Right.
And I want to give a big ups to him, man, and like I say, into my cousin Marvin, man, because it's stuff like that's like, as we talking now, shifting the mindset, man, because there's a lot of people that saw that or heard that 1,400, and the first thing they start thinking was vacation,
right,
club, bundles, Jordans, hats, right, So bottles popping, you know what I'm saying? Like it's go time, right? Because it's free money, right? But this man saw that, man, and he sent us like, man, let's grow this 1,400, and that's why, man, I know I'm blessed, man. Like the circle of people I'm around, man.
Right.
That's the kind of information I'm getting. That's the kind of calls and texts I'm getting. Is like, man, let's grow this to this. Let's do this and make this out of it. Exactly. It's like, man, when your mindset is on boss mentality,
exactly,
you don't see that 1,400 as a way to go out or a way to party.
Right.
You see that 1,400 and you start to see how can this 1,400 become 3,000? How can this 1,400 become 6,000? How can this 1,400 grow my business or start my business? Right. So that's the kind of stuff you.
And
you
that's good that you got
about.
like a group of people that's actually on the same mindset that you on, because that's very important. Like you always want to keep a circle around you that's on the same grind that you on, because you know that saying, you know, birds flock together. You know, that's kind of a true saying. Like if you know you're hanging around a lot of people that's not really on the same stuff that you on that mindset shift that you on, you know, you're going to bound to kind of, you know, fall behind as well if you don't kind of change your circle up with it. So, you know, that's good that y'all got that, man. And
definitely.
And I feel like, you know, from that, like, we should kind of get on the fact of, like, talking how you could change your mentality of being a worker to a boss. You know, kind of elaborate more on that. You know, because I know personally me, I was always a hard worker, man. Like I said, I was in that oil and gas industry, man, and that's what I strived on. Like, I just know, like, I was a hard worker, man, and like I always felt like it wouldn't take long, man. Maybe a month or two in it, I always feel like, man, this ain't it, man. Like, it gotta be like a better way, man. To it, like we should be bosses, man. You know, and I be kind of encourage the other, you know, coworkers that be in there with me, but you know, kind of really encouraging myself to do something. You know, and when I found real estate, man, that was just like, you know, the perfect mindset shift for me. You know, because after like I said, when I heard that Robert Kiyosaki, man, off that Rich Dad Poor Dad, man, that basically was the start of my whole mindset of being from a worker to a boss. You know, and then from right there, I was already in the mentality like, I'm not finna be in here long. You know, what can I do next for me to be a boss? You know, and then that's when I start taking action and start learning. That's where it all started from learning. And then I just, you know, went from there. And now,
investing in yourself, like you said, that's the biggest thing. Where you stop investing outside, like working for somebody else, putting all your resources and time into somebody else. That's outside of you. So once you shift that mindset, you start doing things that's on the inside. And one of those token things I feel like that will help a person with that transition is understanding that money is a tool. Money is a tool. And they call it currency for a reason, because that current, the base word is that current, similar to that flow, that stream. So if it's not flowing and streaming, it's not working. It's not
working, man.
So you
they call that dead money.
You have to be able to utilize that money and make it work for you. You know, and just understand that is a tool that you have to continue to grow and make that money grow itself instead of you always working them long hours, getting all that overtime. Uncle Sam getting it. The more you work and the more you make, the more he takes. So here it is. You done spent all day from little Ray and little Ashley, and you done missed all the dances, all the games, all of that, and you only made $80 to $120 extra, and it's like, wait a minute, where my money go? But when you start investing in yourself and realizing that you need to do things outside that business, outside of that job, that 9 to 5 that you got, to increase and better your situation.
Yeah, you definitely want your money working harder, or you know, just as hard, or if not harder than you. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm putting in 10 to 12 hours, man, I want my money itself working around the clock.
I
want my money making money while I'm asleep. You know, if I go to sleep with $100 in the bank, I want to wake up with 150. Or whatever it may
was.
be.
I need more than
that. I need a little bit more. You know?
If it's 115, let's go.
Hey, a little bit at a time. I ain't gonna be greedy, man.
I'm gonna take it and make that.
I'm trying to tell you, and a lot of things is, man, like you asked the question about, like, how do we go from that shift, because it's a hard thing to do. Because if you think about it, man, like I'm 36, man. I think we all over the 30s. You know what I'm saying? So that means that's 30. So that means we all, you know, have at least 25 years of teaching and grooming of how to be a worker. So it's not only, all right, let's be a boss, but like we have to overcome that. We have to unlearn that first.
And I feel like, you know, just piggybacking off of that, like I feel like nowadays, the generation nowadays is kind of changing the structure or the status feel how we was raised up to be. How our parents and grandparents, grew up. Like, they was always, preaching us that, get a good job, work at that job, work hard, build you a 401k, and then retire. That was the only real knowledge that they gave us, and that was the only thing that we really looked for.
But you know why? But because that's all they were taught.
Right.
They didn't have. They didn't really have nobody. Right. It's not their fault because they was trying to teach us the best they could.
Right.
Like, as a man, it was embedded in us to work hard, work with your hands, because that's what made you a man. Right?
Yep.
But if they only knew, right? If they knew better, they would have told us better, right? But now that we know better, man, it's up to us to change that mentality, man. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us to shift that mindset, like what we trying to start right now tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, man, it's a better way.
Right.
And if like they say, if you know better, you'll do better. If you knew better, you'll do better. So now that we know better, we're doing better, and we wanna push the information out, man. We want everybody to hear this information, grasp this information, and apply this information, right? So we want y'all to understand, like, man, it's a better way, and it's not hard, it's not the easiest thing, but it's definitely doable.
It's worth it. That's what
and
it
it's
is.
worth it. It's worth it for generations to come. Because the moment you change, you helping you helping your downline, man. You helping your kids, kids, and it's not easy. But if it was easy, it probably wouldn't even be working. They say anything worth having is worth working for, right?
Yep.
So you gotta, knowing that now is more of like, what am I willing to sacrifice? What am I willing to do? That's kind of going back to your question, like, how do you shift that? I'm gonna tell you how you shift it.
Biggest thing is sacrifice.
Sacrifice, like, for time, friends, family, TV, everything. Like you say, it's key that I actually have some of those friends and family where we have that group, and that's what we talk about, right? Hearing that, the people you hang around, the things you're listening to, the things you're watching, that's your biggest influence.
Right. So that's why I wanted to piggyback off of that. Like, if that's one of the first things you want to start with, as far as the change of the mindset, like turning off that TV, and replacing that, with educational stuff that you can watch on YouTube, and if it's about, building your credit up, right, Forex, real estate, it could go on. It's so many other revenues you can do, as far as like building your business.
This podcast,
that's just we just throwing out the stuff because that's what we in, but it's so many different business revenues and different avenues that you can go through to become wealthy. And that's one thing. It's turning off that TV and replacing that with educational stuff. Just on that, turning off that radio. And replacing that, just putting on an educational podcast on something that you trying to do. And get all the information on that you can do. So that when you are ready to jump in the field or to start investing in yourself, you already got the knowledge, and that's where it starts with.
Right, man. It's so the Rich Dad Poor Dad, what you mentioned earlier, huge, man, huge. And to be honest with you, I finished that on audiobook, so I listened to that. So for all those people that's not readers, that's okay, because I'm not a big huge reader myself.
This time you really don't even have.
You don't have to be. It's no excuse though. You know what I'm saying, man. On your way to work, on your way from work, on your lunch break, on your way to wherever. Put that audiobook on. Turn 97.9 off.
Turn that
93.7 off. No disrespect to them or anything, but replace that, man. And at least until you get to where you're trying to go.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you think about it, where they want to be, they good.
Exactly.
So when you get where you want to be, then hey, you put it right back on, you good to go. But for right now, man, replace that radio with audiobooks. Replace that TV with podcast or YouTube or whatever the case may be. I'm sorry, but the point is, man, start to, better yourself, add value to yourself, man. Start to learn whatever it is you need to learn, man.
It ain't about just looking like you buy something, actually be about something.
Exactly.
Actually have something which, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shining and grinding is cool, But when you really have something brewing, or if you broke because you got your money tied up in investments, it's gonna be coming in return.
Right.
Return. And so that's just the mentality that you just gotta shift to, as far as having that boss mentality. You ain't just talking about it.
Exactly.
It is some action behind it.
Exactly.
Man, it's one person that I kind of watch, and it's a very popular figure, especially in Houston, Texas. And when I say his name, y'all gonna be like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But man, can y'all see Slim Thug's evolution?
Oh,
man, Boss Hog Outlaw,
you're right,
headed to the Capitol.
Right.
Slinging out that CD. Look at what they're doing now.
Right.
Building the houses,
helping the community
in so many different ways. You know,
Yeah.
and that's just an example of the shift that can be done.
Right.
You know, if you think that, okay, I don't know nothing about that, I can't do that. No. All you gotta do is have the want to. It's more of a will than skill with a lot of these money making things.
Right.
You know, it's not rocket science. It's more so having the discipline and the want to achieve what it is that you set out to achieve.
Right. And a wise quote I heard was, if you can think about it in your mind and visualize it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. You know. So that kind of reverts you back exactly to what we're talking about. You know, changing that
so
whole
simple,
mindset.
and you will miss it, but that's so profound because that's just as real. It's just as real.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's like people don't understand
the power of
the mind is. Like I get on my kids now with certain things that they say because I'm trying to teach them. Like, a lot of times their favorite thing is I'm just playing. Yeah, but man, you think about something, so much, or you play on that so much, man, you manifest it.
Right,
man. What where focus goes, energy goes. You know what I'm saying? So like, what you're focusing on, that's what you put your energy into. Whether you know it or not, you know. And a lot of people don't understand that, so they are making mistakes without even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're simply sitting here thinking. That's just like me, man. Prime example, man. Real quick or whatever. I used to have the craziest attitude in the world, right?
Right.
So I could be mad. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could make me mad. I wake up, I'm mad. I'm going to work, I'm mad, right? So now my day at work is bad because I went there with an attitude, a negative attitude.
Exactly. You went in there with that energy.
Energy. I took that energy. I made my day, bad or worse or whatever the case may be, man. When instead of pondering on those negatives, man, I could have left that situation where it was, took a few breaths or whatever the case may be, got into a positive mind frame, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And still had a good, if not great day. You know what I'm saying? But like nowadays, I know that, man. I know how powerful the mind is, so I'm careful. I'm careful of the things I'm thinking about too long. I'm also careful about the people I'm bringing around me because I know what type of mind they have.
Right.
The energy you bring around you, man, that's so powerful. Like we talked about, the people you have around you, man,
circle.
is real powerful, man. So y'all be mindful of that, man.
You know, I'm gonna add to that. You say be mindful, and that's right in line of again shifting your mindset from a boss to a worker. You know, being conscious of your actions, the way people perceive you, being conscious of the way you affect people. Man, when you are able to do that, you will take the way you deal with people to a whole nother level. When you are dealing with that realm or in that realm and dealing with business, you will greatly increase. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's vital to making that shift because sometimes you will take offense or as a worker and again, just because we're using that mindset worker, it don't necessarily mean a person that's clocking in the Wendy's or Walmart, but just having that mentality. But whenever you take offense or you're not able to see the bigger picture sometimes, like that can be a hindrance from helping you grow. And I think when people are able to separate and then have a common goal, nothing but progress can come. Nothing but progress can come.
100% agree, bro.
Exactly, man. I definitely agree too. And that goes kind of back to what we always be iterating about, the collaboration. You know, like, coming together on, on when we speak about the real estate, the extra wholesalers that be out there, like coming together to, make deals happen or, get deals done. So it's like that's a big thing. Even if you in a mindset of just changing by yourself, it's always better to have your circle that's doing the same thing. Because that's always gonna boost you as well. That same energy gonna reflect off you, and it's gonna make you want to do better.
Yeah,
all of y'all seeing each other grinding and doing, that's gonna make y'all want to do better. And and just from personal experience, like my boy Ben, he was doing his appliance thing, and he had basically like a DBA, but in the format of his job that he was working, it was kind of like he was working for yourself.
Right.
And I was grinding like 60 hours a week, and he was just telling me like, man, I'm working way less than what we used to work together actually, at an oil spot. And he was telling me, Tenaris. And so he was telling me like, man, I'm working way less hours, man, I'm getting way more money. And I used to be like ecstatic about it, because I'm like, dang, like, how is this happening? Like, how you working only 4 to 6 hours and you getting this amount of money? And I'm in there grinding like 60 hours a week, So that kind of also push me to want to do better myself. Like, nah, like this ain't it right here. Like, even just you having that DBA made me like change the mindset of like becoming better.
Let me
what I'm saying?
Let me
So
be the boss.
right, that's when I start talking to you about DBAs and stuff like that.
Right.
Until I start learning about LLC further down the line. But then that was just the start though. Right.
I say that's just the start.
Exactly.
Right.
They got them wheels turning.
You got to start somewhere,
Right,
and it's
right.
not. I heard not too long ago, man. It's not where you start, but how you finish.
Right.
A lot of people be like, yeah, man, but he did that when he was 20. So what?
Mm-hmm.
He did that. Man, it don't matter when you start bossing up, or it don't matter when you start to realize your potential or to apply it. It just matters that you actually start, right?
Right.
Because you may start way after me, but you may be 10 times better than me.
Right.
Or you may start way after me, and together, we start to work together, and together we are the perfect team. So we both end up being amazing together. So it don't matter where you start. All that matters is that you get started. But man, real quick, man, I heard you say something as far as like when me and you was having that conversation about me working way less hours and making way more money, and you was kind of like, baffled by it.
Right.
I think that's the mind state of a lot of us, because believe it or not, man, when I started making that money, when I started working that job, I think I can remember going home to my wife, like my very first, like when I actually got up by myself and started making that money, I was like, man, like it seemed like it's not real, you know what I'm saying? Because it didn't, like, I've never heard of making that kind of money without having like a degree or putting millions into it or thousands into it to start your own business. And I think that's the problem, is not, not doing it, it's just not being exposed to it. So like just hear your story. As soon as I exposed you to that made you want to go do it, and now look at you now.
Right.
You in real estate because you got that boss mentality. You're not built to just work for somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what was your turning point, or if somebody came into that like that with you, but it's just the point of now that we're exposed to it. Now it's no turning back.
It ain't no
now
turning
I'm at the
back
point
now,
where man, I cannot just work a regular job, and no shade to anybody, but it's just because I feel like, man, why work for him when I feel like I'm on his same level or more above? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about, man. It's changing that mentality.
Yep. You
boss
gotta carry
mentality.
yourself like a boss.
I'm telling you, man. And why not?
And that's a part of the mindset. Change too. You want to carry yourself like a boss too, because eventually, you are gonna be that boss. When you create that mind and that reality of you actually being that, it actually comes to format.
It has to happen.
So
yeah.
That's just something we wanted to drop on y'all, man. You wanted to give them anything else on the mindset?
I know we got a couple more things we want to talk about.
Well, most of the stuff we had was, talking about, how we could go into, changing the mindset as far as, like, investing in ourselves. So, like, what would it be some things that you could tell people, like, how they can invest in themselves to better their futures? Whether it's credit, whether it's doing forex, doing Bitcoin.
Break before you, like, getting your credit right, making sure your credit right to where you have funds to spend on assets without using your own bread.
Right.
You know what I mean? Forex, learning the strategies of Forex to where you invest $100, $200, and then you learn strategy, and it's automatically making $150 a day.
Right.
You know, that's easy, and it's like you have it set on the schedule. You know, again, it's not magic. You have to learn the strategy.
You have to put in the work.
Right.
But that's honestly, man, with this mindset shift, man, I could talk about it. I'm telling you. But that's one of the biggest things is people being willing to put in the time. It's like, but that's kind of what kills me. Like, you'll go to work on average, you're gonna work 40 hours, right? So let me ask you, on average, are you giving 40 hours to you?
Usually not.
Are you putting 40 hours into to bettering yourself? Be it education, like just reading, just audio books, or be it taking a trade class. I mean, you know, something to like, man. It's all about adding value to you, because at the end of the day, and we can go back to last year and see this. A pandemic hit. Now
everybody was on their behind.
Now what? Because look,
nobody was prepared.
You one of the best at your job. But a pandemic hit, nobody's prepared for that. So what? You right? So it don't matter your skill at your job. But now that pandemic hit, what can you do now?
Right.
Add value to yourself, because if a pandemic hit now, I can still fix appliances. I can still trade forex.
Right.
I have value.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You can still do wholesaling.
Exactly.
You can still do wholesaling. You can still do real estate. So my point is add value. So if you're going to put 40 hours into somebody else's job, because what I've heard, the more hours you put at your job is the more hours you put into his dream, or into his money, or into his house.
So that's all you really doing, is making the CEOs rich and the founders rich. Yeah.
And again, we not speaking this or saying this to you know, talk down on somebody, because a few years ago, this was me, this was him, this was him.
Yeah, that's
still working.
You know what I'm saying? So we just trying to better ourselves, and we're just trying to put the information out so everybody can better themselves, right?
Exactly.
You know, because at the end of the day, you got to think about it. It's always gonna have to be workers, because if it's 1,000 businesses and no workers, then those 1,000 businesses won't last long. You know, so. But my thing is, man, be your own boss, man. Or even if you're gonna work, have your own business also. You know, have a business making money for you on the side. If your goal is now, you know, it's about mindset, right? And perspective. That's another thing we're gonna talk about.
Some people cool with just making a check,
and that's cool. And that's why I say that's another thing we're gonna talk about, perspective, because I've come to find out. I've come to find out life is all about perspective. So success for you and me could be totally different things. I could look at you and be like, nah. You could look at me and be like, oh, I ain't worried about him. I'm good. Right? So it's all about perspective, and that's cool. You know. But if you acquire more, do more. More don't just come knock on the door. Boom, I'm here. You know, can I move in? Like you know, and that's just real.
More.
Do more. That's it, man.
Just that simple.
Because at the end of the day, you know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting something different. So if you've been doing the same thing, how long you been at the job, man? I'm 10 years, man, but I'm probably be supervisor next year. So how much more you got now? I got a little bit. Well, you're doing the same thing, but you expect to get rich. In 10 years, you haven't.
Yeah.
You know, so why not say, this is cool, but let me start making a little extra $500 a month, you know, on this.
Like, and then I'm investing myself.
And that goes back to, like, you know, using that job to better yourself on the other side, you know, to make yourself better in the long run. So if you are working at a job and you there for 10 years, you know, that little money that you are, you know, that free check that you got, or that little money that you got, you know, start finding ways to get you an extra $500, you know, a month coming in,
and
or you know, if you just investing in yourself, if it's Bitcoin, Forex, you know, if it's just selling mass, you know, weed, whatever, you know, whatever. Weed, like hair weed.
Weed. I thought you said weed. I was like, well,
man, get how you live.
I was say, hey, it is about to be legal, so
but like, just find ways to like get that extra income, because then with that, with you doing those small steps, you're gonna start seeing your change. You're gonna start seeing your mentality. You're gonna start seeing, like, you know, hey, I'm setting up, you know, these platforms for me to do this, you know, after a while, you know, or exactly. So
you know what? Another thing, man, I think a lot of people I don't want to say mistakes because who am I to, say this is where you're messing up. But I think a lot of people problem, which was one of my own, is like you try to start too big. Now, because again, I'm thinking like to start your own business, man, I gotta have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. You know what I'm saying? I have to have this certain education, or I have to have this certain amount of money.
Right.
When no, sir, you can start a cooking company, you can start a trucking company, you can start whatever with a small amount of money. But
tax company.
A tax company. So what you saying, something, even if you start a company and it's making you only an extra $500 a month, a lot of people are like, man, I make that in a week. Yeah, but if I can make an extra $500 a month doing nothing, it's not taking me from my job, so that's an extra $500. So then do that for a few months and then find a way to double that. Now that $500 is making me $1,000.
Right.
Do that for a few months, find a way to double that.
Right.
And that again is you not you're not doing anything, or it's not at least taking you away from this job. So that's on top of this. Working with your mind, or that's exactly.
Asset,
and then from that, after a while, you compound that, and now you got that 1,000 coming from here. Start this, right? Or partner with someone to start this. So now I got 1,000 coming from this. I have my regular 9 to 5. I have another 500 coming from this a month. Eventually, you're going to start to see an extra 1,500 a month, 2,000 a month, and that's extra.
Yeah,
it's you've already was able to take care of everything with the 9 to 5. So now this is extra. You just compounding, and now after a year, you take all that, and now you can start some.
Exactly.
And I say that just to say this, man. Telling people, man, like, don't always shoot for the stars, of course, but you don't have to start at the stars, right? So start small and work your way up to the stars, and just start. The biggest thing is to start, not how you start, not when you start, but the biggest thing is to start, man. That's crazy.
I kind of just want to say, is like, as I heard you talking, Ben, you was describing me. You was describing me, Ben. I've been employed with the same company for about 6 years now. I looked at what was going to bring me profit, that I didn't have to spend a lot of effort or a lot of time, because that's what I wanted to get to the most, was time with my family.
Time back at that time. Yes, sir.
Real estate, wholesaling. I jumped into that. I started doing that for a little while. Still working the same company. I'm still looking at different ways to bring different streams of income.
That's what it's about.
I want to jump into the vending machine, but I currently have a bounce house company as well. Helping out the community.
Bro, and both of those are good asset income based deals right there, man.
Yes,
like I didn't heard deals about doing vending machines, and that bounce house part of stuff. That's always gonna be around.
Man, you got
we keep having kids.
Everybody
slow it down. Everybody slow it down. They it's a big thing to do at the crib. Why not? Why not? Man. And I'm not stopping there. I'm partnering with people. Again, I mentioned tax services. That's an easy strategy, an easy trade that you can learn. It's not rocket science. You can easily teach yourself or go get the credibility to go and do these tax services. And the more you do it, again, not thinking that you have to have all these different degrees to be able to take care of these tasks, but just doing it and get the necessary credentials, and you'll be able to open up your tax business and then thrive from there.
Right.
And then just to jump on that, you start your now you got you in your real estate, you got your 9 to 5, you got your bounce house, you start your tax thing. And let's say you start your own tax thing. Eventually, you're gonna have workers. So now you have workers in that tax. So that tax thing, that tax business is going to be bringing you money. You're not even there. Now here it is, Friday, Saturday. Somebody's renting those bounce houses. You're not even there. So you're still making that money, but you chilling. That's your money working for you. So that's your. Now he's off. Probably kick back, enjoying the beer, enjoying the game. His money is out working overtime.
Exactly.
That's what we want. We want our money working harder than us. I want my money working 24/7 when I'm only giving you 5 days a week. Right. If that, you know what I'm saying? I want my money working hard when all I'm doing is saying, okay, well, we got this at 3 o'clock, or we setting this up. You know what I'm saying? So I want my money to be, I want my money to be like I was when I was 20, 21. I'm trying to kill the overtime, always. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for the weekends. I'm trying to get. I want that double time. I want that time and a half. Now I want my money like that now. You know what I'm saying? So. that's I think at this point, man, and there's so many. This is the generation of the internet, man. You got people getting rich. It's like a
off the
6-year-old or
simplest stuff,
something
man. Off
getting
the simplest
rich
stuff.
off of YouTube.
Just playing with toys.
Just playing with toys.
Crazy.
So,
I'm upset about that. I'm mad about
like,
that.
I looked at my kids and was like, hey, what y'all gonna do?
Exactly.
Like, come on, man. Like, I'm spending a lot of money on y'all, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So,
man. And then they always on it anyway. So,
this is the generation of the hustle.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. So, if you're just steady working for somebody or you broke, it's because you want to be.
Right.
Or because you don't have the information. But it's out there, so start searching, and then after this, it's because you want to be.
What it is like maybe that mindset just haven't changed yet. You know, some individuals. So that's why they haven't came to the realization of doing this or doing that to better themselves, because that mindset haven't changed yet. Maybe they good at the job they at. You know, maybe they good wherever they doing.
Man, real quick, let me jump in, man. I got into Forex when I first got into Forex, man, and one of the most powerful. I think I heard it before, but anyway, I heard, man, your comfort zone is your broke zone, and man, that resonated with me so tough, man, because it brought me back. At this time, I was already at your comfort zone is your broke zone, and I'm gonna kind of break that down if y'all don't mind, man, because. At the time I heard it, I was at the other job making good money. I'm talking, man, I was working, on average, I didn't work over 6 hours a day.
Yep. You
know what I'm saying? And I was making, like, this is a 6-figure job. You know what I'm saying? No lie, right? And so, but even then, it resonated with me. And my other job was like, man, before I got that job, I had to get laid off from my previous job. I didn't just quit.
Right.
Even though I was kind of on the verge of it, but I had to get laid off because I was so comfortable. Man, I was so good at that job. I could do what I had to do. Right. I could leave and go across the tracks. And again, my good friend Josh, man, that was another thing. That's the job you worked at, Tanaris, man. I knew it was so many of us. It was so many of us, man. It was cool. I would get my shop good. Right. I would go over there and hang out with the fellas, and it's at the job. So I was so comfortable, so cool that I didn't want to leave. And I was making minimum. We was making good money, but this one we was working extra hours, working weekends. So I'm working 60 plus a week. You know what I'm saying? But the money was good. I was comfortable. My job was easy. So I was too comfortable. I didn't want to leave. I didn't think of bettering myself. Right? And so I was always broke, though. Right? And then it took me to get laid off from that job, a friend telling me about something else, and me going to school, bettering myself, getting the other job, and starting to see that kind of money. I was like, wow. I had no idea this kind of money was out there for someone like myself, or, us. Somebody that didn't, have a silver spoon, that didn't go to, get the degrees and this, that, the other. So it was like, bro, like all this time I thought I had something. I was like, bro, I've been walking around broke. And I ain't talking just pockets. I'm talking mentally. I've been mentally broke. Not knowing just because I was comfortable, dude. And that's if I could give anybody anything, man, it's like, don't settle just because you're comfortable.
Right.
Get uncomfortable,
and I think
that's when it starts to happen for you, boss.
Right. And I feel like that's a lot of us. Like that's me too. Lot of us, like I know when I get in the job, like when I was working, with the companies, like I did get a comfortability that I grew to. Like I was used to just coming in, knowing what my schedule gonna be, knowing how much I'm gonna make every 2 weeks, knowing exactly what I'm gonna do for that day. Just getting that mindset, like of just not really doing much but working,
having to think too much about it, just kind of having it in the bag,
right. So,
and that like I say, man, that can hurt you. That can really hurt you, man. And it's not. I don't want to sit here and say it's not a bad thing, because actually it is. It's a good thing. But that leads me back to, man, we're gonna definitely have to have a segment about perspective. Because this is huge, but that brings me back to perspective, because to some people that's it, they good with that, man. I'm good, and that's cool, if you're good with this job, these hours, that car you have, that house, your life, man, who am I to say you failing? Or
Exactly.
If that's
true.
good, you good.
Because
true.
everybody got their own determination of what wealth is.
Facts,
So
facts.
we not giving y'all like all this stuff to be like, okay, this is the path to wealth. We just basically giving y'all information that you could take to better yourself. In the long run, to build wealth for you, for your kids and your kids' kids. Whenever you leave this earth. So
That's what it's
just
about.
right,
Legacy.
right,
Bigger than yourself.
right, right.
That's
Message
what it's
of a
about,
man is what's left behind.
I'm telling you.
What type of effect, what type of memory that you have, or that you have an impact on this world.
Right.
So again, working 100 hours, everybody gonna know that you work
You was a
hard.
worker.
Exactly.
Yeah, you was a worker, but
Exactly.
but now
what?
what?
You leave, now your kids got to be workers too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And see, my biggest thing that I used to always tell my coworkers, like, we coming in here, we busting out, butt off, 60 hours a week, or even if it's 40,
Right.
and we coming in here, we grinding our butt up if it's 5-6 days a week. And just think about it. We not even gonna be able to live off our 401k after we retire,
Oh, no,
and we gonna give
not
these
now.
You don't
guys
have to
40
get
plus
something else.
years
Yeah.
of our life.
Yeah.
And that's crazy
Crazy.
how we give so much energy and so much of our life to a company, and then in the end, we can't even survive off the money that we accumulated with. Wow, that 401 that was sitting up all them years, they done flipped that money 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
In Forex, just so I throw that out there. But go ahead.
So these big companies, they done flipped your money 100 times, and it's just crazy how you can't even survive off of it. And these people that make money off of your money, but that goes back to the mindset of going using your money to make you some money too. The same way, investing yourself the same way, even if it is through your 401k savings or whatever it may be.
Whatever
use
it be, man.
Exactly. Use whatever you got to better yourself with, So.
Man, whatever. If you honestly, man, information, perspective, pride. Start to think those ways. If you have to put your pride to the side and borrow some money, man. Matter of fact, I don't know. Maybe that was God telling her. My wife told me a story today of a woman, man. I don't remember her name. I don't remember it was the hair industry. Something about it, but. She told me how she took $500 that she borrowed, and I believe from her mother-in-law, and now it's like $1 million industry. Like her company is $1 million company. Yeah, and my wife, she probably see this. She might come in and tell us who it was. She borrowed $500 from her mother-in-law. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, man, that money you owe somebody is gonna be the same money that changed your whole life, man. Right. And now you owe $500, man. Here go $5,000, but. Don't be scared to borrow if you have to borrow, man.
Right.
Don't be scared to ask if you have
just
to
to piggyback
ask,
off of that, use that on a bigger platform. Use these banks. These banks is looking to give out money, especially to businesses, because they already know that you're gonna basically be trying to bring money back, and that's what it's all about. Like you were saying, that currency. That movement of currency. So, use these big banks, to go in there and get you a loan to start you a business. Go ahead and, if you need a $50,000 loan or a $100,000 loan, go in there and start asking questions. Find out how you can go get that loan. When you go in there, if they deny you, find out why they denied you. And then, correct those things so you are getting to the point where you are able to, start you a business or, start investing in yourself in other ways,
Right.
So...
man. It's again another shout out to my boy Josh. I think you told me something about this as well, but it's like, man, with the real estate anyway, don't be scared to go into debt to build wealth.
Exactly, because that's what the rich do.
You don't want to use your own money,
right?
And I was thinking opposite, like, man, I got this debt, man, I'm finna get my credit fixed, and I don't want to be, nah, man, don't use your own money if you don't have to. You want to use as much as other people's money. That makes sense.
That's what
because
the
at the end of the day,
man.
if you starting a business and you believe in yourself, which you should, because if you don't believe in yourself, you shouldn't be trying to start a business yet. But if I believe it and I know this finna work, why would I not? Let me use that 20,000. Right. Because I know that 20,000 is about to change my world.
But see, I think, and I was like this myself. I think we, from how we was raised, I think we just so scared of being in debt. And we not even utilizing it for what.
Understanding what that is.
Exactly, and not utilizing it to what we really supposed to be using it for.
Right.
And if I feel like if we really knew the stuff that we know now back then, it would be a different structure of how life is now for us. But that's just one,
That was huge what he just said.
Right.
It's not the no, but it's the proper no. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
like what he's saying. We knew of death, but we only knew the bad.
Right,
we only
right.
knew the ugly. You know, the
Right.
stuff we was having nightmares
Right,
about.
right,
But
right.
if you
Like, we was-
understood,
It's such
Right.
a
If we
thing as
really-
good death.
right, if we
right.
really took the time and educated ourselves,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, added value to ourselves and learned about death, we would have knew that's a good way to use it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And using it to your benefit. And when you learn that and you actually apply it, man, it changes everything. You
Right.
know?
Because
it just shifts everything.
we was kind of taught that, with your credit cards, only use it for gas. Only use it for emergencies.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And,
And nobody told me about asking for an increase
Right.
every
I'm
so few
telling
months.
yeah,
You know what
stuff
I'm saying?
like
if
that.
you're doing
yeah,
right, get your
exactly,
increase,
exactly.
man. You
Yeah.
deserve that.
Exactly, man,
Yeah.
and the importance of paying stuff back on time, to build that credit up,
We ain't even gonna talk about
Yeah,
that.
so all the
but-
stuff we telling you is basically
yeah.
that mindset and changing that mindset, of doing better for yourself,
Hey, man.
everything that we talking about.
Let me
Right.
just to speak on that, just because of what we was talking about, man.
Right.
Let me just throw a gem out there, or just a little extra free game, man. It's a book called Unfuck Yourself, man. My boy Avery Bell. A lot of people that's listening, they gonna know who he is. My boy Avery Bell let me listen to it. It's called Unfuck Yourself, man, and it's huge, man. I listened to it. I'm actually on my third time, reading it or listening to it,
Right.
And it's basically just about us going back to everything we learned and unlearning the negative and learning kind of how it should have been, learning right, like you say, unlearning about death and actually learning how we should use it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what it's about, man. All the
Right.
things we were taught and the wrong ways we taught, let's unlearn that and then learn how we can use this and apply this to help us instead of hurt us. And
Right.
man, it's huge. Again, it's called Unfuck Yourself, man. Anybody that's listening, man, y'all check that book out, man. That's
I like
huge,
that.
man.
Right.
That's
I like
huge,
that.
bro. I'm telling you.
And I tell you
I
what,
love
I feel like we done gave them
Ah,
a
man,
whole
we gave them.
bunch.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
definitely,
good,
definitely.
bro.
And we definitely gonna come to y'all again with just a part two of this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just keep feeding y'all that information and keep trying to
Yes,
help
sir.
y'all build
Yes, sir.
yourself, as long as the journey that we going across ourselves,
Yeah.
And we do want to thank Salsa, for the platform that he giving us,
Appreciate
for
it,
us
Salsa,
to come
man.
give y'all this
Appreciate
game every Tuesday and Thursday. You can hit us up, on the in our inboxes or in our comments on the Talking Real Spill podcast on the Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, the whole platform.
Yes,
And
sir.
we'll definitely be looking forward to replying and hearing what y'all got to say, and also let us know if there's something that you wanted us to touch on or go over on the podcast. And that'll be something that we'll definitely be looking forward to doing. And also, I wanted to plug in my business. If there's any, sellers that's looking, to sell their properties, is there any wholesalers that's looking to do JV deals or, just need help getting properties sold out there, any buyers out there, any investors that's looking for, properties, we got I got a lot of properties in inventory, so you can always look me up under www.anythingispossibleenterprises.com. And I'll be looking forward to doing business with you. If not, you can always hit us up on our Talking Real Spill podcast platform. Also, check us out on YouTube. We got all our all our episodes that we done on there.
Yes, sir,
and we
YouTube.
definitely gonna be adding more content to it. So check that out under Talking Real Spill podcast on the YouTube too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, we everywhere. And we doing everything.
Right.
Nah. But seriously though, on this real estate
Right.
again, please reach out again. It's Draylen Booker King book. A lot of different ways to get in touch with me. Please reach out to me. Also, I want to give a shout out to J-Way Tax Services. If you hadn't got your taxes done yet, if you just got too much time, go ahead and sit that W-2 over. You can do everything virtually. You don't even have to show up nowhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And notary as well.
Okay.
So covering all bases.
Bad,
Yeah.
And on the Forex end,
Yes, sir. It's your boy Ben the Great, man. Any Forex concerns, man, questions, comments, any information you have for me, if you know a little something and you want to connect, we can definitely get together and look at those charts, go over those charts together, whatever, man. You can reach me at the Talking Real Spill podcast on Facebook, man, the Instagram as well, man, and like AJ said, man. Any comments, leave them now, man. If there's anything you liked or disliked about this podcast or any other ones, you know what I'm saying? Please let us know, man. We trying to grow with you guys, man. We're trying to get better, and we're trying to feed content that you want to hear and have a show that y'all want to listen to, man. So definitely reach out to us. Let us know anything, man. The comments, the concerns, and everything, man. So with that being said, man.
To the next discussion, man. This is AJ the Franchise.
Your boy being the great
King Boo.
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll see y'all Thursday, y'all.
All right.
Peace.
Appreciate it.